people who don't eat breakfast are 31% more likely to have belly fat, 48% more likely to be overweight, and 44% more likely to be obese.
Why do we crave?
When your body does not get enough protein, it will manifest as a sugar craving. And most Indians will say, lunch ke baad thoda sa meetha ab to pucha. Maybe because your protein need was not tanked enough.
Interesting. So how do we mineralize it?
One choti si crystal of khadi namak on your tongue and drink it. You will realize that the time between consumption and running to the bathroom has lengthened. 2, you will realize that you are actually satisfying thirst. Because even 2% dehydration affects your memory, your mood. So water is important.
आज के एपिसोड में हमारे साथ हैं पूजा माखीजा, क्लिनिकल न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट, ऑथर एंड एंटरप्रेन्योर. शी ब्रेक्स डाउन हाउ द वे वी ईट कैन मेक और ब्रेक आवर हेल्थ.
इंडियन डाइट वर्सेस वेस्टर्न डाइट कौन सी बेटर होती है?
The Indian thali, the best plate in the world. We always have a little bit of salad, fermented achar, 2 प्रकार की सब्जी. It's a balanced thali.
Do you think food addiction is as strong as alcohol addiction at some cases?
Sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine.
You have one more thing which is fake sleep.
Most people think that I'm finding it difficult to sleep, so I'll take alcohol because that put me to sleep very easily. But it disrupts long-term sleep. So that's called fake sleep.
You
have
worked with a lot of celebrities also, right? Who's the most disciplined one?
Shayad.
Who's the most notorious one?
Ranbir, when he started, was naughty. He was like, "Pooja, tu mera mutton ban karwa rahi hai, main nahi sunne wala hu." He also hated my vegetable juice.
How should we eat when we are going through a breakup, burnout, crisis? Because this is the time where they'll get addicted to all the wrong things right now.
So
आगे बढ़ने से पहले इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए ताकि हम आपके लिए इसी तरह से और इंसाइटफुल और बेहतर पॉडकास्ट बनाते रहें. एंड इस पूरे शो का ऑडियो एक्सपीरियंस स्पॉटिफाई पे अवेलेबल है जहाँ पे आप हमें फॉलो कर सकते हैं. एंजॉय द शो. ठीक है, मैंने ग्लूटेन रोटी बंद करी, वीट बंद किया लाइक से 4-5 months ago. नॉट कम्प्लीटली बट लाइक महीने में शायद एक बार खा लूँगा टाइप्स हो गया. ब्रेड ऑफ, वीट ऑफ, एंड सिर्फ एक्सपेरिमेंट के लिए. माई मॉर्निंग्स गॉट बेटर. लाइक मैं अब मॉर्निंग में उठता हूँ एंड आई यूज्ड टू फील वेरी एसिडिक. कितना भी क्लीन खा लूँ नेक्स्ट डे, मतलब वर्कआउट अगर मैंने बहुत एक्सट्रीम कर लिया तो आई वुड गो वेरी लाइक फील लाइक प्यूकिश कि आज तो बहुत एक्स्ट्रा कर लिया. 0. और अब उसकी वजह से ऐसी आदत हो गई कि अब मैं अगर एक दिन रोटी या ब्रेड खा लेता हूँ, नेक्स्ट डे मैं खांसने लग जाता हूँ, यहाँ पे कुछ अटक जाता है, ऐसा लगता है कि समथिंग इज स्टक हियर.
now you're listening to your body. See,
बट ये क्या
you only
बचपन से
take
खाते आ
abscess.
रहा हूँ मैं.
See, I'll tell you what. Because they genetically modified the wheat. Okay, wheat was supposed to have 5 to 6% gluten. But with 5 to 6% gluten, you can't have the softest breads and the yummiest croissants and the longest shelf life of bakery products. So they genetically modified wheat to have anywhere between 10 and 15% of gluten, because gluten is what gives carb the elasticity.
Okay.
आटा softer, dewier, pizzas flowier क्यों बनते हैं is because of gluten.
Okay.
So they genetically modified it to have more gluten so it can be softer and yummier. Now, our bodies were made to tolerate gluten. So we have an enzyme that digests it. But with the overload of it, 5% के बदले में 15%. So 3 times more if your body is going to, if every time you eat food it's going to have that much gluten, the enzyme is exhausted. If the enzyme is exhausted, you're not digesting it as well. If you're not digesting it as well, it's causing gas and acidity and acne and angry skin. Not because of the wheat, but because of the greater content of gluten in it.
Sometimes I question also कि 25-26 years of my life तो मैं सब खाता था बढ़िया, कुछ भी नहीं हुआ था मुझे, तब भी मैं इतना ही फंक्शन करता था. Obviously my focus, energy, everything has increased now, but I also feel वो इसलिए भी है क्योंकि overall मैंने लाइफ बेटर कर दी है. So I don't know कि सिर्फ ग्लूटेन से ऐसा हो रहा है,
नहीं,
सिर्फ लैक्टोज से हो रहा है.
सिर्फ से नहीं हो रहा है. अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि गाड़ी सिर्फ पेट्रोल से चलती है तो क्या वो सिर्फ पेट्रोल से चलती है?
नहीं, मेंटेनेंस
बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. It's a complex system. And this body, oh my God, this body is a magical machine that God has given us. A magical machine. Self-healing machine. self-sufficient machine. My body knows how to make everything I need, heal everything that bothers me. However, like any other machine that needs to produce, it needs raw material. And the raw material comes from the food I eat, from the air I breathe, from the water I drink, from the sleep I give it. So the machine has basic necessities. Basic necessities ka dhyan do. Give the body what the body wants. The body gives you what you want apne aap. See, the basic need of the human body is the same. Our approach, our aspirations, our stimuli may have changed, but this body is the same. And if you want to make the most of this body, you have to give it the raw material. And raw material wohi hai. So all problems, you can pick up any random problem, and these 5 things can do the job.
What are the 5 things? And then I'll go to problems.
So the first one is protein. Okay. Now, some say there is overemphasis on protein. Some say proteins are, were recommended by the best lawyers. Everyone thinks proteins are great. But proteins are essential. Okay, proteins are not only for the bodybuilders. Okay, proteins are for everything. And if your body doesn't have proteins, I would call proteins as most essential as your immune factors. Okay, they are like soldiers. Every time you want to fight a disease, you want to stay strong, you want to protect yourself from illness, repair, injury, you need proteins.
Okay.
And 73% Indians don't get enough protein. Okay, people who have protein once a day consider themselves on a very good protein diet, and I've done that as a survey. Okay, ask people, do you eat enough protein, versus someone who says you don't eat enough protein, and if they have one bowl of dal, they think they're doing the job.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not enough. Proteins are required not only for one meal, but they're required in all 3 main meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you're not eating enough protein, you are not giving your body the baseline immune cells to correct whatever is going wrong. Now, whatever that problem may be, you call it hair fall, you call it low vision, you call it colds, coughs, you call it dental caries. You go
whatever.
Head to toe. Okay, and you can rectify the problem if there's faster healing and repair. Okay, whether it is acne and skin, everything requires to be repaired, and repair-based material requires proteins. Okay, and because we are not getting enough, we are loading up more on carbs. See, there's a plate ratio, right? And if you're not eating enough protein, you will land up having more carbs. Yeah. In general, India is a carb-rich diet. Okay, we do emphasize a lot on our carbs, and quite sadly, we consume naked carbs.
Naked carbs. Naked carbs kya hota hai?
Just like you and I we don't move about in society without correct clothes. Okay, the trouble with carbs is not the carbs per se. It's the naked ones, when we forget to dress them up.
Okay. कैसे करते हैं dress?
Carbs को हम कपड़े आगे से भी पहनते हैं, पीछे से भी पहनते हैं. Carbs को dress both way करना है. आगे से है fiber, पीछे से है protein.
Okay.
Fiber माने सब्जी, cooked raw soup, salad. Protein माने दाल, pulses, legumes, sprouts, chicken, fish, अंडे. Mostly, our carbs are naked. For example, chutney bread, plain katori poha, which is considered extremely healthy. Plain katori pasta, which is considered extremely unhealthy, but both are naked. Aloo paratha, lemon rice. Carbs जिसने कपड़े नहीं पहने. Carbs के कपड़े हैं fiber and protein. या फिर हम करते हैं one sided dressing. आगे से कपड़े पहने, पीछे से भूल गए. For example, idli sambar. Proteins, no fiber. Vegetable sandwich. पीछे से कपड़े, आगे से भूल गए. If you understand the funda of covering up the carb, you are delaying glucose spikes. It's just as simple as that, because your carbs and your fiber and your protein requires more time to break down, and they hold on and delay gastric emptying, therefore delay surges in your blood sugar levels. See, all problem occurs when blood glucose levels spike. Because after a high, there's a crash, then there's a high. Okay, so we have to prevent glucose spikes.
Okay.
So most people will say, I'm following an anti-inflammatory diet. What is inflammation? Sugar spikes. Control sugar spikes, control inflammation. So proteins are an essential factor of dressing up your carbs, because most Most of us fear carbs. But carbs are your energy givers. And if you don't have enough energy, then how do you accomplish everything in the day?
True.
Okay, now you don't want to do it as wheat, you do it as bajra jawari. Is there one carb that is the best choice for everyone? No. You have to listen to your body.
हर किसी की अलग अलग.
Correct. For example, आपको बाजरा सूट करेगा, मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं सूट करेगा. So is there one universal millet जो सबसे अच्छा होता है? नहीं. But you have to figure out how you're dressing them. But even the order in which you eat your khana, that itself can also reduce glucose spikes by 40%.
किस ऑर्डर में खाना खाना चाहिए?
हाँ, हर चीज का ऑर्डर होता है.
हाँ.
सक्सेस का ऑर्डर होता है, दिन का ऑर्डर होता है, राइट? खाना खाने का भी ऑर्डर होता है. ओके, सो थाली वही, कार्ब होगा, प्रोटीन होगा, फाइबर होगा, फैट्स आर इंक्लूडेड amongst in all cooking methods, right? So fats comes in. Now, how do we usually eat? Is we take the roti, put the sabzi, dip it in the dal, eat it, right? That's our normal khane ka pattern. But there's something known as meal sequencing.
Meal sequencing.
Correct.
Okay, क्या होता है?
Which is the order of eating. Now,
क्या है right order?
the right order is, imagine your stomach to be like a wash basin. And your blood levels to be that drain pipe.
Okay.
अब वॉश बेसिन में अगर हम डायरेक्टली पानी डालेंगे तो सीधा फ्लो हो जाएगा. If you directly put carbs which are converted to glucose and increase sugar levels, they'll break down and increase your sugar levels. But let's say we choke this up a little bit. So we first put a little bit of fiber, kachi sabzi, which is resistant starch, right? Resistant starch is food for probiotic, but is not digested by us, and therefore it doesn't increase my sugar levels. So you put a little bit of kachi sabzi. It doesn't have to be fancy kale, avocado, salad from expensive places. Kakdi, tomato, gajar is also called salad.
ठीक है.
थोड़ा सा salad. फिर वो जो आपका सब्जी का बोल था, 50% प्लेन खा लो. उसके बाद आपका जो प्रोटीन था उसको 50% प्लेन खा लो. जैसे दाल है या चिकन है, प्लेन खा लो. You've left 50% sabzi, 50% protein. Now you eat it with your carb, roti or rice. So what you did was you created layers in your digestive system.
Interesting.
So you automatically are delaying the glucose which is there in your carbs to be digested before, and then the fiber gets digested. Then the protein gets digested, and then we touch the carbs. So this is called as meal sequencing. Khana wahi, order of eating badal gaya.
Nice.
If you're going to have a love affair, which most people have with food, it becomes like a toxic love affair, right? Have you ever heard someone say, "Hi, I'm in love with Karela"?
No.
Or "Dudi ki sabzi."
Apart from my mom.
Yeah, and me as well. But okay. Or "Dudi ki sabzi," मैं दूधी की सब्जी crave कर रहा हूँ. No one, right? So the love affairs are always with sugar, always with
Oil.
Yeah, because those are the one-sided toxic love affairs. For example, if you crave a bhindi but mama didn't give you bhindi and she gave you doodhi, it's not that you're going to order the bhindi. You just preferentially like the bhindi. But if you are craving a laddu and I give you doodhi, you will order the laddu. Right?
Fair.
So that's a craving. But this is a preferential choice for perhaps a particular vegetable.
Why do we crave things? There is a concept ना कि एक biological hunger होता है और एक emotional hunger होता है. Like you crave. तो इमोशनल वेन एवर लाइफ में बहुत अगर सैड हो या बहुत हैप्पी हो, बहुत डिप्रेस्ड हो, कुछ भी हो, यू गो थ्रू दीज इमोशंस. मे बी मेरा पेट भरा हुआ है बट स्टिल मुझे चाहिए होगा. लाइक एटलीस्ट ऑन द सैड डेज मुझे चाहिए होता है कि आई नीड दिस शुगर नाउ. मतलब मैं क्रेव कर रहा था. व्हाई डू वी क्रेव?
So if you're calling it a physiological craving, see, there are two types of cravings, like you said, physiological and psychological. Most cravings are psychological habits we have created.
Okay.
Because per se, society has taught us that food is a beautiful emotional distraction. Okay? आप upset हो, खा लो. दुखी हो, खा लो. सुखी हो, खा लो. Lonely हो, खा लो. Celebrating, खा लो. Crying, खा लो. Okay? Because food is the center of our universe. Okay? And you have had previous associations with such. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जब मैं छोटा था, गिर जाता था, चोट लगती थी तो मम्मा चॉकलेट दे देती थी, या दादी माँ हलवा बना के देती थी, पीरियड के क्रैम्प्स होते थे तो दादी हलवा देती थी. ओके, सो दीज आर एसोसिएशन. सो our mind works like a jukebox. Okay, this is ये बटन दबाया तो ये CD निकली तो ये गाना बजा, right? So the minute I am upset or lonely, when I was upset in my childhood, my mom gave me a chocolate and it made me feel good. So the body says, you're feeling lonely?
Something
jukebox, eat the chocolate, feel good. So these are habits that I have tried to created over. So that's why they're psychological cravings. There are physiological cravings, okay? But physiological sugar cravings are actually hidden manifestations of protein or salt.
Okay.
Okay? When your body does not get enough protein, it will manifest as a sugar craving. Your body is actually asking you for more protein, but you will crave more sugar.
Lack of protein because you're craving sugar.
Yeah.
Yes, it has happened with me. Happens with me almost every month.
It's a very, very important point to remember for most Indians, because we are not eating enough protein. And most Indians will say, lunch के बाद थोड़ा सा मीठा, तो पूछा गुड़ भी चलेगा लेकिन थोड़ा सा मीठा दे दे. Maybe because your protein need was not tanked enough, was not satisfied enough, you reach out for that sugar. We are the diabetes capital of the world. Is it because we are also 73% lesser in our protein intake? Is that the correlation? Forget the thrifty gene. Physiologically, there are two deficiencies that your body is actually trying to overcome. One, protein, physiologically. And the second one is salt. We told us this white substance is toxic, dangerous for your heart. And we were told it is salt, which was the biggest lie. Salt is not causing you to get high blood pressure, heart attacks, or water retention. Salt or sodium is an essential mineral required by our body.
But overeating can cause all of these things, right? Can contribute to all of these things.
Overeating salt? No. Overeating sugar can cause all of this.
Overeating sugar is horrible.
Correct. But
undereating sugar is also horrible. Sugar is horrible.
And salt was demonized and sugar was said it's okay. The whole root of the problem was the sugar. Okay, think about it. Someone gets a stroke, someone gets a heart attack, or someone is just collapsed out of we don't know what, rushed him in an ambulance. Without talking to any doctors, without knowing medical history, पहली चीज क्या चढ़ाते? Saline. What is that? Saline चढ़ाते? What is saline?
But glucose भी चढ़ाते.
Glucose नहीं चढ़ाते. Saline चढ़ाते.
NS. Okay.
NaCl. Saline चढ़ाते. What is saline? 9,000 milligrams of sodium. Why? Because sodium reduces BP. Even for a person who's got a stroke, they will first give you saline. And sometimes they do a push, which is 2 units of saline, which is 18,000 milligrams of sodium. Because your body requires sodium to kickstart the water that is being held, the kidneys to filter, the heart to pump. Sodium is not the culprit. It was demonized so that sugar could shine and diseases could
flourish.
Yes, sadly. Salt is never ill. If you have excess salt, it'll come out in your urine. If you have excess sugar, does it just come out in your urine? It gets stored as fat. It gets stored as fat. That's the sad truth. Salt is very essential. And the lesser salt you have. Now, what is the physiological pathway of salt to sugar? Because sodium is so essential, your kidneys have to go into an overdrive to reabsorb it. If we don't eat enough salt, we have to reabsorb this. Now, the kidneys can only reabsorb sodium when the brain tells the pancreas ke insulin badhao, because insulin helps the kidneys to reabsorb the sodium. But as soon as the insulin increases, what happens to sugar? It absorbs the sugar, right? So it utilizes the sugar. So the sugar goes down. Sugar goes down. I'm hungry. My sugar is dropping. I will end up eating more sugar. What did the body actually need? Salt.
Salt and proteins.
Yeah. So the minute you give yourself enough salt, you will realize that your body does not need that sugar.
Interesting.
And salt is as essential to drink. Not generalized salt has to be there. Okay? Please do not switch all your iodized namak to pink salt. It's dangerous because iodine is very important for your thyroid, and thyroid is your mother organ. Cooking should be done with iodized namak. Okay? But with every glass of water, you have to put a little crystal of khadi namak, pink salt, rock salt onto your tongue and then drink water. But you don't need only water. You need mineral water. Originally, what were we meant to drink? Water running down the streams, passing through the rocks, mineralizing it to give us what our body needs, which is mineral water. But then came pollution and industrialization, and we dirtied the water. So we needed filters, and then we needed better filters and better filters and better filters. And now we have lovely filters that takes away all the impurities, but also all the minerals. What we are left with is just chemical H2O. 2 units of hydrogen with 1 unit of oxygen. Now, that's not the water my body can use. That's why I drink this water. It goes from my mouth to my tummy, to my bladder, to the pot. So the minute I tell people adults need about 2 to 3 liters of water on a daily basis, it's like, Pooja, I'm constantly sitting in the bathroom. Why are you constantly sitting in the bathroom? Is because we are having plain water. The minute you mineralize the water actually gets absorbed, goes intracellular. ये extracellular water नहीं चाहिए हमें. It has to go inside the cells to do the job. When the water takes its journey of moving intracellular, then excreted, then goes to the bladder, this passage of drinking and going to the bathroom is far longer than when it is had plain.
So how do we mineralize it?
1 choti si crystal of khadi namak on your tongue and drink it. Drink a glass of water.
क्या differences होंगे अगर मैंने okay, let's try this for a week. And एक week मैंने खड़ी नमक रखी और पानी पीना start कर दिया. I drink a lot of water. Okay. तो अब मैंने start करा. क्या differences होंगे मेरी body में? What will I see? What will I feel?
Firstly, you will realize that the time between consumption and running to the bathroom has lengthened.
Okay.
1. 2, you will realize that you are actually satisfying thirst. You know, sometimes people will tell you, I drink a lot of water, but I'm always thirsty.
I am like that person.
So because your body is asking you for the minerals with it. Because you're not actually quenching what the body wants. Okay, because dehydration is real. Okay, when you get the sensation of thirst, your body is already 40% dehydrated. Okay, we don't want to get the sensation of thirst. Because even 2% dehydration affects your cognitive skills, your memory, your mood, your recollecting ability, even 2% dehydration. So water is important. So the things you will notice is all of your cognitive skills will always be sharp because you're hydrating to what the body wants. I told you, this is a self-healing body.
Okay.
But it needs things the way it was meant to be given.
So these are the 2 changes. What else? Major 2 changes I'll see.
Yeah.
I'll try it. And for a week and I'll tell you.
Done. You will definitely see. You will also notice your sugar cravings going down because your body will get the sodium mineral that it needs.
But my sugar cravings anyway go down when I'm working out a lot and I'm taking enough protein in my meals and everywhere.
Proteins can do magic.
Like it just, if I am, मेरी हर मील में अगर कुछ ना कुछ प्रोटीन जा रहा है and my diet is clean, I've noticed I have 0 sugar craving. On the days when I'm traveling and मैं इधर उधर होता हूँ, मैं बहुत कम सोता हूँ, stressful days, उस दिन जब खाना भी नहीं खाया होता, उस दिन it's just like at night I want something sugary.
No, that's because your body is in survival mode. See, remember, we don't eat food because I'm a nutritionist and you're not. We eat food because if you're not going to eat food, we're going to die. So when the body's not got what it wants, it's going to raise an alarm and it's going to say, I need glucose directly. And then you're not going to say, oh, I will eat a protein that will become sugar, or I will eat a tomato that will become
instant chahiye.
Instant chahiye. High sugar, high fat, high salt. Okay, that's what satisfies a craving then. So that's the key idea behind even people who don't eat breakfast. You heard of that? There was a meta-analysis of 45 different observation studies that found that people who don't eat breakfast skippers, are 31% more likely to have belly fat, 48% more likely to be overweight, and 44% more likely to be obese just by skipping breakfast. Now, what you said was when I have a day of not eating well, I will crave sugar. Most breakfast skippers are doing just that. They're not front loading their nutritional intake. They are leaving a void, and therefore in the night when the world is sleeping and
then they
ordering is easy and opening the fridge and finishing
whatever's left
left is easy. That's when you will reach out for the wrong foods.
Yeah.
That's when you'll reach out for the wrong foods. Yes.
But you were talking about thrifty genes.
Yes.
कि क्यों हम crave करते हैं sugar in first place? Why do we crave certain things? क्या होता है thrifty genes?
So thrifty gene is a gift we have been given by the British Raj.
Okay.
Not only did they take a lot of our resources and our wealth, but they also left a lot of diseases in our bank. Okay, how does that go? Is because of the massive famines our ancestors went through. Okay. We had the Great Bengal famine in 1770s. We had a Madras famine in 1870s. So because of the massive famines our ancestors went through, our body biologically changed to become more storers than burners. So
खाना मिलेगा ही नहीं तो adapt कर लो.
Yeah, because of the massive famines, because they took all our food and sent it away. Their food policing and the way they governed us, and they took away all the food crops. So we didn't have enough to eat. So our bodies evolved biologically to become storers, which is why we have more belly fat, which is why we are also called as skinny Indians, skinny fat people.
Yeah.
Or they also call us as a TOFI phenotype. TOFI is thin outside, fat inside. Okay. So we have more visceral fat, lesser lean muscle mass, greater insulin resistance, and therefore genetically prone to being diabetic, to having cardiovascular disease. If you compare even Indians staying in the West, and so they've had the same lifestyle, right? But it's the genetic play that is making them more prone to cardiovascular diseases, high blood pressure, and diabetes, although they don't live in India. They live in the West. They're eating the same diets as the Caucasians. But because of our phenotype, because of our genetic mutations that have occurred over the years, we are skinny fat people.
But also because हमारे आसपास infrastructure सभी junk food का है. Like from morning to night, all we eat is just junk. Fried food, junk food, day in and day out.
That's what, na. So the famines made us storers. And then in today's world, there is no shortage. There's only surplus. There's surplus of everything. So we are not moving as much as we moved, but we are eating far more. And of course, we are eating convenience foods because we are not cooking our meals. The simple truth is, the more we eat of what God made, the healthier we will be. But the more we eat of what man makes, the unhealthier we'll be.
True. Why? Because you're talking about storer, craving, all of these things. कभी-कभी psychologically, if मेरा mood अलग है तो फिर मुझे भूख लगती भी नहीं है. बहुत लोगों के साथ होता है. Let's say जब आप sad होते हो तो आपको मन ही नहीं होता कुछ खाने का. Why does that happen? Then क्योंकि मैं biologically तो मैं crave करता हूँ ज़्यादा food, तो मुझे ज़्यादा खाना चाहिए. क्योंकि I'm going through emotional. If you said कि बचपन में भी तुम sad थे, बुरा लग रहा है, या गिर गए तो मम्मी ने चॉकलेट दे दी. अब बुरा लग रहा है, I'm sad, I'm going through, let's say, a heartbreak or bad day, failure, rejection. अब दिन खराब है, भूख ही नहीं लग रही, like you don't want to eat anything. It's just like, just don't talk.
Yeah, but that's because...
Why does that happen? भूख क्यों नहीं लगती जब sad होते हैं?
Because different people process anxiety in different ways. Okay, you have two hormones, ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin is your bhook hormone. आपको बार-बार बोलेगा भूख लगी है. Leptin is your satiety or पेट भरा हुआ है. Most people have a skewed leptin to ghrelin ratio. Of course, lack of sleep skews it. Okay. But sometimes emotionally, when we are like, some people, when they are emotionally sad, can only think of food, and some people can't think of food. That's emotionally how you are
Wired.
you are as a person.
Hmm.
Okay, and it has a lot to do with your leptin ghrelin. Perhaps in your case, when you're sad, your ghrelin goes to sleep and your leptin is your happy satiety hormone. Bolte, I'm not hungry. But in someone else's case, the anxiety and the sadness it causes the ghrelin to not stop only. Or leptin is completely so gaya hai. Leptin satiety de hi nahi raha hai, ghrelin khali bhook de raha hai. So that depends from different person to person. It's not a stereotype. It's not everybody forgets hunger. It's not everybody only eats to distract themselves. It depends on person to person. But yeah, but you have, this body is fully scientific. Okay, so excess bhook lagna, excess pyas lagna, these are all signs. Your body is trying to tell you something. Okay, we have to learn how to listen to these signs of the body.
True. I did my epigenetics test, okay? And उसमें आया कि मेरा satiety level is very poor.
Satiety level is very poor. मतलब आपका leptin low है.
हाँ, तो मैं खाता जाता हूँ और मुझे पता ही नहीं चलता मेरी बॉडी को कि हो गया भाई, खत्म हो गया. Just you keep eating.
हाँ.
And to me that was fascinating because that's true.
How many hours of sleep do you get?
Very rare.
There you go. ये सब,
Very rare. 4-5 hours a day.
ये सब genetics नहीं है, darling.
A night. I mean.
These are not genetics. This is lifestyle. Okay? We'd like to blame everything on genetics and we'll say, oh, I was born like this. I'm sorry. Your lifestyle is 70% of the predictor of how you're going to age. It's not your genetics that's going to do it. Genetics is a predisposition. So the fact that your leptin was low, and if you sleep less, your leptin can't be there. Your ghrelin is going to be angry and up there. So your satiety value ho hi nahi sakti hai. You're not going to feel full. That's because you haven't slept enough. That's a very simple ratio. See, man has been able to achieve everything. Okay? We can FaceTime. Oh my God. Like my nani couldn't believe, like she was talking to her daughter who was in America. Like when the first time she FaceTimed, the joy was to see my nani's face. कि ये ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? हाँ? In her time, बेचारी trunk call करती थी अपने, हाँ? And then now like this. So, but have we been able to replace sleep? The minute you're going to sleep less, everything in your body goes haywire. Absolutely everything. Your fat metabolism, the speed at which you lose weight, your chances of getting osteoporosis, 6 hours of sleep on a daily basis versus 7 and 8, you're 40% more likely to get fractures and osteoporosis. Okay, so statistically, every time you are sleeping less, you're asking for more trouble. And if you are chronically sleep deprived, your all-cause mortality rate is shooting up. So when we are trying to reach for the stars, darling, you can't compromise on sleep.
Yeah.
That's one thing that is a non-negotiable. If you wear a continuous glucose monitor and you sleep 6 hours, you have the same breakfast, you check your sugar spike. You sleep 7 hours, have same time, same breakfast, check your sugar spike. You sleep 8 hours, same time, same breakfast, check your sugar spike.
Interesting.
You will never in your life ever think that sleep is a chalega. Challenge.
I should do that.
Challenge.
That'll be interesting to see.
And there are studies done on this. Beautiful studies done. They took same subjects, same breakfast, similar sleep conditions, pre-sleep conditions, sleep conditions, AC, BAC, सारे control किए थे. And they gave those same 100 subjects 6 hours of sleep, 7 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep.
Nice.
It's these studies are, for me, everything has to be evidence and study based. If you can show me a classic study that is peer reviewed and it is, or perhaps it's an observational study which of 45 or 50 other studies, I'm sold.
But in India, our infrastructure is such that we end up becoming addicted to food. Do you think food addiction is as strong as alcohol addiction at some cases?
Sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine.
How do people get addicted to this?
1 bite. But if you tell someone, I love sugar, versus if I tell you I love cocaine or I'm addicted to cocaine. Why do we look down on cocaine addiction? Because we know it's bad for us. But sugar addiction, I have a sweet tooth.
It's a
I'm Gujju.
better word to yeah.
I have sugar cravings. We just give ourselves these labels. But actually it's an addiction. Because sugar hits the same dopamine centers in our brain as does cocaine. It's a reward system. And sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine. So I should be looking at someone who's saying I'm addicted to sugar 8 times worse than when I look at someone who says I have a cocaine addiction. But we just take it lightly. We just take it, I'll learn, I'll change, I'll try. It's not that. If you teach people the right way to look at certain foods and certain nutrients and certain subsets of food, you can change that.
Yeah.
You can change that.
And then people, when they are going through an emotional slump, when they're at low, they get addicted to substances even more.
Yeah.
And that's how they get addicted to sugar as well.
Yeah.
Here's a question. How should we eat when we are going through a breakup? How should we eat when we are going through a burnout? How should we eat when we are going through a crisis?
Okay. So
What should people do? Because this is the time where they'll get addicted to all the wrong things right now.
okay. So when we are already downhill, okay, the trouble with the meal plan becomes is not the fact that we had planned to fail in our
Yeah.
eating. It's the lack of planning that caused us to fail. Okay, so when you are already downhill or in a crisis, the first thing you do is literally make out a 10-day cyclic menu. Sit down with someone who's not in that same downhill slope like you.
Okay.
Okay, if you have the privilege of a nutritionist or a friend who knows a little bit, bravo. Otherwise, just sit down with a
Just
friend.
use AI, ChatGPT to do
Fair
it.
enough, fair enough. Give a 10-day detailed cyclic menu, breakfast, lunch and dinner. मैं ये खाने वाला हूँ. Put it up on the fridge. Give it to the chef if you have a privilege of a help. Give it to mom. Give it to your spouse, whoever. That this is the way I'm going to eat. Don't ask me questions. Even if I have planned it. So I will shut up and eat it. I'm not going to crib. I'm not going to this thing. Put these meals in front of me. Let's hope my downhill gets better. I would say that's the only thing that you can do. Because if you're going to live moment to moment, meal to meal, it's one bad choice over the other. Because if you made one bad choice, then you'll say, it's a reward and punishment cycle, right? So if you've cheated, then you'll want to punish yourself and say, किसने तेको बोला था 2 लड्डू खाने के लिए? अभी 6 घंटा मत खा. Okay, because we as humans tend to do that, right? You cheated, now punish yourself for it. Oh, 6 hours I was good. Let's reward myself with 1 laddu. So it's that vicious loop. But if everything is planned in front of you, you have planned it, you have prepped it, the food is there in front of you. If you eat the right food at the right time, you're far less likely to pick up the wrong food at the wrong time.
Tell me top 5 right foods or good foods to eat during crisis. When you're low, your energy is down, you're craving almost everything.
I would definitely eat my protein, okay, because it'll keep my sugar cravings down. I would definitely eat good fats because then my stomach is full longer. I would definitely eat higher magnesium-rich foods because magnesium helps you calm down, lullabies you to better sleep. Anxiety and anxiousness becomes better. So magnesium-rich foods could be seeds, nuts. They're all magnesium-rich. They're also good fat-rich, so they go together. I would ensure that my hydration is good because I don't want to confuse thirst and hunger. Because your thirst and hunger centers are so close together in your brain that 90% of the time when you think you're you're hungry, you're actually thirsty. So I would ensure that my water intake is checked off so that मैं भूख और प्यास में ज़्यादा ना खा लूँ. And 5, I would do a little bit of love or comfort eating. See, because you are going through, let's say, a patch. And food at the end of the day is emotional.
Yeah.
Okay. Now to say, I will go through that loss and I will still be a saint is a tad bit difficult. So give yourself a little bit of leeway. See,
1 meal a day or less than that?
one small cheat.
Okay.
Well, one small cheat. See, remember, every bite is information. We all know the importance of information in today's time and age.
Yeah.
I want to give my body majority of the time good information. But because of my discomfort or anxiety, give a little bit of naughty information. Okay? But majority is good so that I'm able to get out of this problem faster. But when majority of the information given is wrong because of comfort eating, you are slower to process this loss or this sadness or this anxiety. So it'll take you longer to get out of it. If you have given the body the right tools to get out of it, you will get out of it faster. You'll find that light of ray or that silver lining because your body was equipped to finding it. This is a self-healing machine.
All of these moments when emotional eating is high, जब आप depressed होते हो, sad होते हो, tough day, all of these days, emotional eating आपकी ज़्यादा high होती है, तब mental sharpness also depletes.
Of course.
So tell me top 5 foods I should eat for mental sharpness.
Most of us associate mental alertness to a stronger brain. Okay? But where are your neurotransmitters?
Gut.
Okay, so these are not brain foods. You have to eat gut-friendly foods. Because for every one signal that the brain sends the gut is sending 9 signals back to the brain.
Fair.
So your eating can control your mental sharpness to an extreme level. But if you're dehydrated, if you're protein malnourished, if you're eating more sugar,
lack of sleep, lack of exercise, you're going to do that.
See, I'll tell you what. You can वही बात अलग-अलग फॉर्मेट्स में बोल सकते हैं. हाँ, वही अलग फॉर्मेट्स में बोल सकते हैं. या सेम वो 5 प्रिंसिपल्स आप किसी को भी अप्लाई कर लो. You can help yourself. See, that's the magic. See, एक मैन्युअल आता है, बॉडी का मैन्युअल. This could be that. Just a simple manual. You're looking at muscle cramps? Look at these. You're looking at headaches? Look at these. You're looking at digestive issues? Look at these. You're looking at anxiety, memory? Look at these. It's literally magical, the application, which is exercise, non-negotiable, because just like diabetes is a disease, being sedentary is a disease.
Yeah.
Okay? And how you age depends largely on how you move.
True.
And 50% of India does not move. Our physical activity levels, 50% of us, urban population, are not moving. Okay? Women are far more inactive than men. And therefore, obesity rates are equivalent. They did a study between Pune, Mumbai, Chennai. 6 out of 10 people are physically inactive. And physical inactivity is equal to inadequate aging. It's a disease. And that's what we have to highlight. Most people think exercise is just a way to look good. Okay, when I want to look good. But how you look as benefits of exercise is a dot compared to everything else that exercise helps you with. Mental alertness, everything, every organ of yours benefits from exercise far more than just your weight.
True.
Okay? Far more than just your weight. So if you learn, and when we say physical activity, it's movement, it's strength training, because to make sure that your bones can take this. See, our body is magnificent, but it's actually a skeletal mass. And we are ignoring the skeletal structure because our bones are not, they're a live tissue. They're not cement like most people think they're cement. They're not. It's a live tissue.
Yeah.
And it's made up of osteoblasts, which make and build, and osteoclasts, which break bones. And if you don't put weights or you don't put pressure on your bones, the osteoclasts are anyways doing their job. Because aging causes hormonal changes, insulin resistance, all of those, which are anyways making osteoclasts, your breaking cells, far more active than your building cells. So if you're not going to do some strength training to activate the blasts, you're just going to be a melting frame. You know, there was one very interesting statistic I read which said it takes 400 repetitions to make a new memory. Okay? 400 repetitions of anything. But if you do it in play, it only requires 10 to 20 repetitions. Which is the great saga behind how kids know the wordings of all their lovely songs, but can't remember 3 theorems or
yeah.
or definitions. Why? Because ये बार बोला, but 400 times नहीं बोला. गाना 10 times सुन लिया और
Yeah,
सारे lyrics छप गए. Because it's done in play.
Very interesting.
Because it's done in play. So if we learn how to do an activity in play, enjoy the exercise instead of a trainer sitting on your head and giving you instructions. If there's any form of movement that you enjoy, that in itself for you is not being sedentary.
Tell me, compare Indian diet versus Western diet. कौन सी better होती है?
Indian.
Indian diet better है? क्यों? कैसे? क्या?
Classic Indian.
Classic Indian
मतलब
diet
how
क्या
your grandparents ate.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell me key differences.
So I've said this multiple times over multiple forums that if India's invested money to do see right now if you Google best diet in the world, आएगा Mediterranean. But look at the Mediterranean diet to ours. Very similar. Very, very similar. The Indian thali literally can be an example of the best plate in the world. So look at the Indian thali. We always have a little bit of salad, always have a little bit of fermented achar, which is today called probiotics. Or we'll have at least 2 prakar ki sabzi, 1-2 prakar ki dal ya chicken. We'll have carbs. Carbs hote hain. I'm not saying that.
Heavy.
Okay? Carbs hote hain. But it's a balanced thali. और अगर आप वो ऐसी थाली में बैठोगे जहाँ वो सर्विंग करके देते हैं आपकी थाली को, they serve it in this order. You remember I taught you meal sequencing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So when we sit down on a leaf and they come and sequence it for you, they actually give it to you in the same format. Okay? So there is always logic behind what our ancestors have done. See, if you pick up any trend, where has it come from? You call it yoga, you call it meditation, you call it turmeric lattes. कहाँ से आया ये? It's our Vedas and our culturally, we were nutritionally a very apt community. Till we thought that this our ghar ka thali is too boring. Let's ape the West. Let's see convenience. Let's see packaging. Let's see 2-minute foods. That's where the trouble arises. If we go back to how our thali was made, our thali is marvelously healthy. Our thali follows, our ancestors have followed what today science will call chronobiology. What is chronobiology? What our ancestors have always done. Sunrise pattern, sunset pattern. Biggest meal is breakfast, smallest meal is dinner. Always told to us. Today science does studies and researches and calls it chronobiology, and then we follow the same thing. Okay, so there was a very interesting study that they did. They took 100 obese women, gave them an isocaloric diet. Isocaloric, but divided according to chronobiology.
Okay.
Big breakfast, 700 calories. Small lunch, 500 calories. Smallest dinner, 200 calories. King, prince, pauper. जैसे हमारी दादी बोलती थी. And then they took group 2. Isocaloric, same calories, but reverse. 200 calorie breakfast, 500 calorie lunch, 700 calorie dinner. Both groups were given for 12 weeks this diet. Group 1 lost double the weight as group 2. Chronobiology, something that we have been told to do our whole lives. Culturally, us. So when you say which diet is best, if we go back and we do it, we have really, our ancestors had masters and BSc and PhDs in nutrition, even without doing basic nutrition.
But is it different in the North and the South?
Everywhere.
Like, is it like North Indian gut is different than South Indian gut? The things which a South Indian will be able to easily digest, a North Indian won't be able to, and vice versa.
Yeah, because this is all again genes, right? The Dravidians.
तो फिर classic Indian diet सबके लिए same नहीं होगी ना? That just
हमारी सब्जियां अलग होगी, हमारे कार्ब्स अलग होंगे, हमारा थाली का डिविजन सिमिलर होगा. अगर वहाँ ज़्यादा फर्मेंटेड इडली डोसा होगा, वहाँ रोटी होगी, वहाँ राइस होगा. द कार्ब विल वेरी, द मेथड ऑफ प्रिपेयरिंग द दूधी की सब्जी और करेले की सब्जी विल बी डिफरेंट, बट द डाइट.
But are there any major differences between a North Indian and South Indian?
I would classify it to taste, nothing else.
Okay.
Because in general,
Just taste and preferences.
yeah, taste and preferences. It's not that, oh,
Biologically, there's nothing, or evolutionary, because of so many years, so many things.
so many years, that's the only thing that we have all in common is our thrifty gene, our tendency to be storers. That's all we have to remember. That's why we have to move more. That's why our emphasis on physical activity has to be more.
Okay, I was going through your Instagram, okay, and I found out bunch of concepts which were pretty unique for me. तो मुझे उस पे बात करनी थी, and I want to ask you, what are these? I didn't open those videos because I was like, I'm going to ask you in detail about these things. Okay, so first was travel constipation. ये क्या होता है?
See, when your environment changes, your body's responses change. Okay, when we are traveling, everything goes haywire, right? Your time zones change, your water changes, your food habits change, your sleep timings and your sleep quality changes.
Yeah.
Now, all of these have a direct correlation to how your bowels move. Because your bowels follow an HMF rule. H for hydration, 3 liters, 2 to 3 liters. M for movement, 60 minutes of your movement for proper peristaltic movement of your bowel movement. And F is for fiber, which is your vegetables and your fruits. Now, when we travel, the HMF goes out of toss.
Yeah.
And your sleep goes out of toss.
True.
So automatically, your bowel movements go out of toss, and therefore came the interesting word of coining it as travel constipation.
Okay. And
See,
how
they
do
are
we...
basic fundas.
So then what we do, how do we fix it? Hydration ज़्यादा रखो, movement ज़्यादा रखो, and fiber ज़्यादा रखो.
Don't forget your water. See, when you're traveling, you'll end up paying more for water than, in some countries, you'll end up paying more for water than beer.
Yeah.
Okay, so
European countries, most of them.
तो पानी कोई पी नहीं रहा है, focus नहीं कर रहा है.
No.
They're like, oh my god, 3 euro का पानी. So we are not drinking enough water. We have to focus on your water. Movement हो ही जाता है. 1-2 दिन नहीं होगा तो because of long flights, 1-2 दिन नहीं होगा, but once you're in Europe, you have to walk far more than what you walk in Bombay. So movement हो ही जाएगा. And you just have to include your fiber because their fiber is quite negligible. See, our thali has a lot of vegetables. They'll put 2 pieces of broccoli and call it fiber. And if you call for an extra plate of vegetables, I called for a pizza with extra vegetables. They gave me a plate of aubergine as vegetables. I was like, okay, bengan as my
Their
vegetables.
obsession with eggplant needs to be studied right now, like especially all these European countries, like for some
Imagine
reason.
I ordered a pizza and they gave me aubergine. Imagine the combo.
They eat vegetarian pizza if you ask.
Yeah.
Aubergine is like just there.
It's just
just
very
there.
high culinary
ठीक है.
value.
Whatever that is. Okay. Biggest travel we're talking. Tell me a flight, long flight travel routine. Like
Okay.
tonight I'm taking a 23-hour flight.
Wow. Okay. So firstly, because of the altitude, your cabin has lesser oxygen. Okay. So lesser oxygen means more inflammation. So what I would do is at least make sure that your omega-3s are at a 2000. So take a 2000 milligrams of omega. See, because you have to prevent this 23 hours of inflammation
Yeah.
to not trouble your body. If you make sure of that, then when you land, jet lag becomes better to tackle. So first, I would ensure at least 2000 milligrams of omegas to keep my inflammation low because of the low oxygen which is going to be inside the cabin.
Okay.
Okay. 2, it is massively dehydrating to be up there. Okay. It's leaching out literally a liter of water every 3 hours, if I'm right. Okay. So make sure you're hydrating that much.
Like drinking a lot of water.
Yes.
That is-
Water with salt, not just water. Okay. So water with salt. So make sure that you're electrolyting your water. Stay away from the alcohol as
I
much.
don't drink alcohol.
Okay. As much as it may be tempting to be in whatever class.
I don't
The best drink
alcohol in life.
The
only.
best drink to have on a flight is a Virgin Mary. Okay, because it's tomato juice, which reduces inflammation. It has salt and pepper, which gives you the electrolytes. It has a dash of spice, because there's a very interesting study I read which says that our palate, the taste buds are reduced to 50%. Okay, इसीलिए flight food is always more flavored so that you find it tasty. even the flight snacks will always be more flavored so that you find them tasty because
High
of
sodium.
dehydration. Yeah, because of dehydration up there, and because our taste buds have become less receptive. We are not being able to taste our food very well.
Yeah, and that's why it's high sodium and that's why it's tastier.
Yeah, they call it the unami. So there are 5 taste buds. Okay, and there's one unami. Unamis which is there in soya sauce and all of
Okay.
these. वो intact रहता है unami. Sweet, salt, bitter, ये सब कम हो जाता है. इसीलिए unami or most flight food will have higher unami factors. It was very interesting.
I
study.
like flight food, by the way.
Okay.
Because of this only.
Maybe because they
High
make it more
sodium.
flavorful.
Yeah, it's
They
more
make it more
flavorful.
flavorful. They are trying to make it more flavorful. And sleep as much as you can. That's the best time to catch up. Your thoughts are anyways going to be lesser because there's lesser oxygen, lesser hydration. Thoughts अपने आप बंद हो जाएंगे. You know, also there was a very interesting study that I read. ये कम oxygen, ये कम hydration makes you more emotional. Notice that वही मूवी आप फ्लाइट में देखोगे तो ज़्यादा रोगे वर्सेस अगर आपने घर में देखी होती थी. Interesting, right? You tend to become more emotional up there.
Wow.
इसीलिए
I've never noticed, but I'll
No?
try to notice.
notice. Otherwise, just keep the focus on the hydration. The
I enjoy
water.
comedy movies a lot when I'm in flight, so probably that emotion is pumping up, but
Okay,
not
fair
like
enough.
sad emotion.
Fair enough. I'm more of that rom-com girl, so I will watch that movie and then I'll be like, oh.
Interesting.
Okay, but and of course movement.
Hmm.
If you will drink enough water, you will get up that many times to go to the bathroom. So the movement always happens before you hit the loo. Take 2-3 chakkars of the aisle and then go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that-
Before you go back to your seat, take 2-3 chakkars of the aisle and then go back to your seat. That automatically helps.
Yeah, you have the lucky girl syndrome. What does that mean?
Okay, so we have a part in our brain that is the filter through which most thought processes filter. Okay, I forget the technical name. Okay, but that's the part in the amygdala which wakes up in the morning and you start the filter for that. So if you wake up in the morning saying, wow, today I've woken up fresh and today is going to be a lovely day. So the body picks up all thought processes that are lovely,
Okay.
happy, make sunshine, make the most of the day. So you tell the brain what to pick. And our brain is attacked with literally tens and thousands of bytes of information every second, out of which it can only pick up some 30 or 35. So that entry point in your amygdala tells your brain what is it that she wanted today. I woke up saying, slept so badly, I have a headache. Oh, so the thought processes then filter through, I'm bad. But when you wake up saying, I'm the lucky girl, God is kind, everything is there, Hari Om, happy, morning, you are inducing what the brain has to filter. So, aapne filter happiness ka lagaya hai, so automatically you are a lucky girl. So, it's just that syndrome that you induce to have every day as a happy day.
Yeah. And there are a lot of studies proven which have proven these things.
No,
right?
these are all so,
studies.
I told you, I'm a girl of studies and science. So if this was a syndrome that we just discussed, it wasn't something that would be on my page. But because the study clinically showed how I can literally filter my thoughts to those to give me that syndrome, then I'm going to call myself that lucky girl.
There was an experiment I was reading on the same thing that there were 2 groups of people, both were given the same newspaper, and they were asked to find specific words. And one group, they felt they were the ones who used to feel lucky. The other one was like, we don't feel lucky. They were given the same newspaper. And the ones who felt they were unlucky, they didn't find those words. And the ones who thought they're lucky,
Because your brain
they
is
found
filtering.
those words in much lesser time.
Yeah, because your brain is filtering. It's getting like tens of thousands of bytes of information every second. And then from there it filters. That's how magical this machine is.
True.
But are we loving it and respecting it to its due course?
That's a question.
That's the question we have to ask ourselves. That we have been given this magnificent body. Are we loving it and respecting it?
Yeah.
So there was a very interesting saying that said, you can have a 99 problems till you have a health problem. And then you only
One
have one problem.
True.
Because if one part of our body refuses to work when we wake up this morning, how difficult is it? How difficult is it? But this body is cleaning, filtering, detoxing, autophagy, गंदे cells निकालो, नए cells बनाओ. ये चोट है, 2 दिन में इसको heal करो. Self-healing. I don't have to do anything.
You have one more thing, which is fake sleep. Connection with sleep. What is fake sleep?
Most people think that I'm finding it difficult to sleep, so I'll take alcohol because that's put me to sleep very easily. Because alcohol does that.
People do that?
Yeah. So many people do that. I need a drink because I can't sleep. Okay? So alcohol definitely induces faster sleep, but it disrupts long-term sleep or REM sleep. So that's called fake sleep. So when you use alcohol to fall asleep faster, but are not getting the quality of sleep while you're sleeping, that's why in the morning you'll still wake up tired. Soye to the. You had extra to drink or you had one drink to drink, whatever, and you knocked off. But when you wake up in the night, you're still tired. That's because you slept, but fake slept. And many people sadly are using the crutch of alcohol to say, let me stop my mind, let me allow my gum, let me just fall asleep. And that's fake sleep.
How about people do that with marijuana and cigarettes and other things as well?
All forms of intoxication, trying to make their brain shut down by forceful, unhealthy measures to fall asleep. But then clearly they are affecting the quantity and quality of overall sleep. See, when you sleep, you have to wake up like a bull, ready to charge. When you're not doing that, it's because there's something amiss.
Yeah.
You are sleeping, but you're not rested.
True. And there was one last thing which I wanted to cover was health routine for summers, winters and monsoons. ये अलग अलग होता है. Summer diet अलग होती है, monsoon diet अलग होती है, winters diet अलग होती है.
In winters, we tend to forget water. Okay, that's why we somehow say winter में भूख बड़ी लगती है. Okay, भूख नहीं लगती थी, but the weather made you forget thirst.
Yeah.
So you confuse the two. Similar thing happens in monsoons. Because we see so much water, we forget to drink the water. Okay, so that's why the focus changes. Because our environment is stimuli, right? When the stimulus is more water, we somehow confuse the two. Of course, in summer, we are losing that much water. But if you're not doing mineral water, then again, you're not hydrating yourself well enough. So, and also in summers, because of the excessive heat on the outside, foods which are easier to digest just accelerates metabolism. So instead of having paka hua khana, the more you have sauteed or kacha khana, it's easier for your body to digest it. So instead of having the same dal chawal sabzi, if you make it like a sprouted salad with some carbs in it, you had the same dal chawal sabzi, but you just had it in another form. A spoon of dahi in it, some chaat masala in it. It's cold. It tends to, like you could just put cold rice in it, like a cold curd rice with tons of sprouts and veggies. It's automatically a more delicious meal that you will enjoy in summers versus eating in winters. And in winters, we tend to have more comfort with warmer foods. Okay, therefore the soups and therefore the hot curries are satisfying. That's why winter foods will be more things that are warm stimuli and just changes in the environment.
मुंबई में तो hot ही रखना पड़ेगा सब.
हाँ, मुंबई में तो हमें सब
hot weather के हिसाब से देना पड़ेगा. हमारा winter नहीं है.
हमारा winter सिर्फ दिखाने के लिए winter है.
कोई है भी नहीं वो.
But थोड़ा बहुत हमारा winter wardrobe खुल जाता है. 1-2 knits पहन लो, बड़ी खुशी होती है.
मैं इंदौर से हूँ, वहाँ पे बहुत ठंड होती है. तो then
okay, Bombay weather is hardly any change in winters. Yeah.
Like this is colder than the winters right now.
True that. I was warned. बहुत ठंडी होगी पूजा, so I was like, okay. So as long as, because ठंडी is difficult to then process mind thought because you're all constantly distracted with the peripheral blood flow trying to keep me warm here.
Yeah. You worked with a lot of celebrities also, right? You work with a lot of them. Who's the most disciplined one when it comes to food?
Shahid
is disciplined?
To the T. Okay. Like he can eat the same food and he has things in very simple formats. He's not a very fancy guy. If he'll have ragi ka steamed ball, he'll have it every day for lunch for days and months and weeks. And he doesn't get bored. So he is diligent. Even Deepika, very diligent. That's why she is. See, I'll tell you what. People just have awe of celebrities. Okay, but they don't see the hard work these guys do, the boring, monotonous regimes they follow for weeks and months to get that look. It's not just, of course, talent is gifted,
Yeah.
but how they have to look for a
Body.
particular role, they really work hard.
Yeah.
Ishan Khatter, he works so hard to look that look because it means something to them. And all that is hard work. It's not just a magic wand. It's hard work. And that's why they are who they are.
Yeah.
So we aspire to be like them. But if we work as hard as them, we will.
Of course.
We will. You know, because this very interesting theory that I came across that said, looking a particular way, like you said, celebrities like, or losing weight or being healthy or being skinny is rented, not owned.
And the
Okay.
rent is due every day.
जिस माध्यम से आप वो बॉडी के लिए पहुंचे, you have to follow the same route to stay that way.
Yeah.
Okay, it's rented. It's not owned by you. You can't put your feet up and say, cool, done, dusted. अब मुझे कुछ नहीं करना है.
Yeah.
And every celebrity does that as religion. To be who they are, they pay their dues to be who they are,
Yeah.
which is why they shine.
True. Who's the most notorious one? Who do you think is the one who's like, थोड़े दिन करते हैं, थोड़े दिन नहीं करते हैं?
Ranbir, when he started, was naughty. He was like, Pooja, तू मेरा मटन बंद करवा रही है, मैं नहीं सुनने वाला हूँ. He also hated my vegetable juice and said, ये नहीं पीने वाला हूँ. But then a couple of years later, I met Neetu and she's like, Pooja, he doesn't go a day without his vegetable juice. Not a day. I don't know what he's doing today, but yes. So some amount of naughtiness or badmashi is there in everyone.
What's there in vegetable juice which you didn't like?
It's not the best tasting juice, right?
Okay,
So
what is
it's
it?
three
Give me-
colors.
Give me Ranbir Kapoor vegetable juice. I don't know.
It's 3 colors of vegetables. It's any 3 colors of vegetables put into a mixie with a little bit of water. It could be carrot, tomato, beet, spinach, bell peppers,
Okay.
doodhi. Any 3 colors of sabzi in your fridge. Put it into the mixie, little bit of water, blend, strain, put 50% roughage back, nimbu, kala namak, slurp. Yes. It won't taste good one time, it won't taste good 2 times. But like I said, a habit takes 400 attempts
Yeah.
if you make faces and have it, or 10 attempts if you say, I will, and this is going to do me good. It's going to make my skin good, it's going to make my eyesight good, it's going to make my digestion good, it's going to make my bowel movements good. And in 10 tries, you will love the vegetable juice.
Yeah.
So you have to acquire the
yeah.
taste. Like the first time someone tastes vodka, they don't like it.
I don't know. But
I'm just
I know
saying.
what- yeah.
Okay, but pee ke fir pee, we can't we can't stop drinking. Same thing with the vegetable juice. You will start to like.
Yeah, I used to hate my morning juice. Every morning I have the same juice that I drink. Celery, cucumber, beet, spinach, moringa.
So that's a vegetable juice.
Every day I drink that, the same thing.
That's a vegetable juice.
And
it's
now I started liking it. Like now if I don't start with it, my day goes bad that,
something was missing.
yeah, something like why
A
haven't...
good health factor, a good feel-good factor was missing.
It still tastes horrible. But now like my body craves it in the morning, that first thing I need it.
Yeah, because your body likes it. It's not the tastiest thing in the world, but it's giving your body what the body wants. So therefore, you are enjoying it. So that's a perfect glass of vegetable juice. Now, had you put even one fruit in it to make it sweet, I would have said that's not the smartest. But you are doing it just perfect. So that's your glass of vegetable juice.
Yeah,
And
every
see,
day.
you automatically just love it. Because your body needs it. So you are liking it. गोल घुमा के आप कोई भी problem पकड़ लो. The solution is the same. Of course,
Protein, exercise, sleep, right food, and
No, that's what.
Water.
That's what I was saying. No, we didn't do the last one, which is target nutrient. So for every purpose, there is one target nutrient that will have to be focused on. For example, for bloating, it's salt. That's the target nutrient. For anxiety, depression, it's magnesium. For better sugar balance while you're diabetic, it could be chromium piconolate. For better immunity, it could be zinc. For better For lesser blocked sinuses, it could be curcumin and vitamin C. For lesser inflammation, it could be omega-3s. So there will be a target nutrient that can change. So as long as the basic diet is taken care of, then you give that one target nutrient for one specific purpose, and you can help that. That's the target nutrient.
Well, thank you so much.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you for coming
My
here
pleasure.
and doing this and explaining the fundamentals.
Perfect. And I hope
And the memory thing is stuck with me now. I'm going to use it and exploit it to the T. Like, I just love it. That's just something which is...
in your case, the memory thing, in some other listener's case, something that connects with them to be able to enjoy this journey called life. And most importantly, enjoy the process in becoming. Then it's called mission accomplished,
Yeah.
right? Because every person has been put on this earth for a reason, okay? And I think my reason is to make people realize that with very small changes, you can get very big results from this body because you have been gifted this marvelous machine. And all we have to do is love and respect it. And then it loves and respects us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
थैंक यू सो मच ये एपिसोड एंड तक देखने के लिए। अब आपको 3 चीज़ें करनी है। सबसे पहले इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लो, क्योंकि जितना आप सब्सक्राइब करोगे उतने ही बेहतर और वैल्यूएबल गेस्ट हम ला पाएंगे आपके लिए। नंबर 2, मुझे कमेंट्स में बताओ इस एपिसोड में आपको क्या अच्छा लगा और क्या गंदा लगा, ताकि हम वो मिस्टेक्स रिपीट ना कर पाए। एंड कौन से ऐसे गेस्ट हैं जो आप देखना चाहते हो वापस हमारे पॉडकास्ट पे, ताकि हम उन्हें लेके आएँ और आपको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वैल्यू दे पाएँ। एंड नंबर 3, ये एपिसोड किसी एक इंसान के साथ ज़रूर शेयर करना, क्योंकि one conversation can change someone's life. I'll see you next time. Until then, keep figuring out.